Stand against your ego's defense system. October 27, 2013. We understand how difficult it is to stand against your ego's defense system, yet the task is not impossible when you know deep down that your journey will be that much better for it. Much has occurred in your journey so far, and every aspect, each turn, each direction, each action, word, thought, and feeling you are responsible for. After all, it is you that has constructed your life, and you must take ownership of any mistakes, inadequacies, awkward moments, and any other situations that took an unexpected turn. Whenever you counter the truth with self-justifications, you are in reality distorting what is real. The more often you use excuses to cover up the truth of any situation, the more you create a different reality that only you fit into. By detouring away from the truth, you provide yourself the inability to make better choices, and any information that you gather during any interaction has the ability of being misinterpreted. By living in a false reality based on your inability to drop all egoic ideals and face the truth in every situation, you will attract more negative experiences. In order to change this from occurring, you need to be able to see clearly the truth of the matter, and that, dear ones, requires you to see without the ego being present. When you are able to walk the path of truth that is purely directed from your heart, you will be able to prevent little problems from growing into out-of-control ones. If you are able to come clean within any mistake and take responsibility for your involvement, you are then offered the opportunity to correct what went wrong. You have the capability of preventing any small problem or issue from becoming larger than life. Learn what it was that went wrong, and apply this acquired information next time. Don't become a repeat offender of the same mistake. Remember, mistakes happen for a reason. They come into effect because there is something to learn. Acknowledging the mistake is not enough. You must be able to take responsibility and discover what measures you need to take in order to change the cycle of events that will end any repeat and enable new experiences to develop. We see often many dear souls trying to hide from their mistakes through elaborate excuses, or they avoid certain people that are able to see through their masquerade. Whenever you choose to hide from the truth of any situation, you are not only disrespecting the people that is involved, but you are also disrespecting yourself. You create unnecessary stress upon your entire physical body that can also create issues for your mental and emotional self. Be brave, dear ones, and acknowledge the fact that you were wrong. Yes, it can be difficult, but you will be better for it. Learn to apologize empathetically for any harm you have caused. Understand that some errors made even after receiving your apology may still come with consequences, but by accepting them, the people around you will appreciate you for taking this brave step, and you will regain some respect from them and for yourself. We fully understand that choices are forever coming your way, and you have learned to tune out many of them, even the ones that are good for you. And you even make excuses to yourself for not following their direction. When you are at the mercy of yourself for not taking a certain path, you end up criticizing yourself and wishing you could have that choice again. Understand, dear ones, if you miss a direction because you didn't take the opportunity the first couple times it came around, it might take a while before that particular opportunity arises again. Don't carry around any additional negative energy by holding on this possibility. Let what you allowed to go actually go, and look towards something else in the meantime, knowing when the time is right, the opportunity you let slip through your fingers will come back. When you attempt to justify any action that resulted in a negative outcome, what is truly happening is your ego is defending you with creative excuses and explanations. Apply this to a relationship and you can guarantee to create issues within your relationship and with others. Self-justification has often been the culprit of many relationships coming to an end. Comprehend, dear ones, regardless of what kind of relationship you are in, you can choose to be honest and reveal the true reason for any mistake that created disharmony, or you can choose to blame the other person through labeling and harsh judgments. When you make use of labels during any incident that you have to justify your actions, understand these labels are created from your ego, and they often spew what is real and will create more damage. In any relationship, dear ones, remember each person has feelings and are able to be hurt by your choice of words and actions. Even if they are unable to read your thoughts, they will come through many times through your body language. Instead of making things worse, just admit to being wrong and acknowledge your part in any situation where you played a role. Show empathy. Be compassionate and sincere. When you take the brave step forward and own up to any mistake, you are taking responsibility not just for any particular issue but for your life. We know it's much easier to keep your head buried in the sand, but that way of living doesn't provide you with the opportunity of working with the other person or persons that are involved to strengthen the relationship. It does not provide growth or development. What it does provide is your ego to control you through your fear to accept responsibility. It is essential for you to not only remember but to comprehend that your behavior does have an effect on others. You may not be able to control their reactions, but you do have the ability to control your actions. When you are able to achieve more control of your actions, your words, your thoughts and feelings, you are able to achieve much greater results in any endeavor you put your heart and soul into. Taking responsibility for any situation demonstrates maturity instead of being like an unknowing child and always pointing fingers to others or lying about what is the actual truth. Of course, it is not always possible to be aware of every single error you have made, but from the ones you know of, the ones that reoccur in your memory are there as reminders of what you have not owned up to. Extract yourself from the fetal position of regret and become more aware of who you are, of your reactions, and lean towards cultivating a deeper understanding and awareness of your own behavior. If you tend to lie and cheat the people that love and care about you, this is something for you to discover why. It doesn't mean because this kind of behavior is meant to stay. Any behavior that is negative and hurtful can be changed if you choose to acknowledge the need to change and how the change can benefit your life and the life of others, and you are willing to rectify any part of your life. Remember, this is your journey. We encourage you to move towards making choices that are based on the highest of good each time. The many dear souls that can be described as narcissistic have the hardest time admitting any wrong because to them in their own egocentric mind they are flawless. These dear souls have an incredibly strong dissonance and always have plans on top of plans and steps to ensure their self-created ego remains in place. Many times people that fall into this description are in fact the ones with low self-esteem. They often pass off excellent opportunities because they feel they don't deserve them, and then there are the dear souls that are overconfident and consider any offer made to them as not good enough, and doesn't meet their expectations. It is hard for these dear souls to be mature and take responsibility, but in time a circumstance will present itself and only they will be able to wiggle out of it. A little humility once in a while is not hurtful. It reminds you to check where your pride is and to admit wrong when it is in front of you and shows you are not infallible. What we have observed more often than not is an increase in the inability of dear souls taking responsibility unless forced, and even then the truth is not always fully revealed. When you are stepping through your journey confidently, it's essential to merge your confidence with honesty of yourself through the aims of achieving a truthful outcome. As we mentioned earlier, you will not be able to own up to every mistake, but you can take responsibility for the ones that have crossed your path recently and learn to make amends for any issues you brought onto others as a result. It is more than possible, dear ones, to catch your excuses and self-justifications by taking the extra time to notice through conscious reflection. Before you give excuses to explain any error you were part of, envision yourself in the other person's shoes and try to feel what it would feel like to be hurt by lies that were created to cover up a slight error or misunderstanding. When you can do this, you are adding empathy, and empathy in any relationship will go a long way, dear ones. Don't think that when you make a mistake that you are being stupid. We do not think this. This kind of negative self-talk is damaging and wrong. A mistake made doesn't make the person who made them less intelligent. It simply means there is something to learn, and with the knowledge gained there will come a time when applying that knowledge will become necessary in a new way that will promote new and better outcomes. It is important for you to grasp the idea that success is not to be viewed as a purpose from any characteristics or traits but from hard work and effort. We encourage you to view any mistake not as poor deficiencies just to be ignored by elaborate justifications and excuses, but instead as unavoidable parts of life that will help you not only to grow but to grow up. Be kinder to yourself and stop hindering your growth by making excuses for your actions. Ask for guidance from God, myself, or any other being that you look up to, and we will shine a light onto a path that will help you discover ways that will help you become more confident and able to face any truth within any situation. The power has always been within you to step away from the defenses your ego likes to display and walk through your journey from your heart with love touching every corner. I am Melchizedek through Julie Miller. SpiritualNetworks.com